On today's video, I'm taking a look at a contender here for what I think might be the best direct-to-consumer driver on the market. This is the KE4 TC Max from Maltby. I'm a big fan of Maltby's irons. I've used one of their drivers out on course, which I liked, but I can't say I loved. But this one I took out on course recently, and I think it could be the winner for the DTC crown this year. So what we're gonna do here is test everything we normally test out on course. We're gonna do it in the simulator, looking at distance, forgiveness, workability, aesthetics, and value. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give this Maltby driver a score. Let's get to work. First off, taking a look at this driver, you've got a big pear-shaped head. Now the crown of this driver is a precision cast titanium construction. Very interesting process that Maltby uses here to construct this driver. That big deep face features variable thickness technology. You've got an adjustable tungsten weight there, up to 8 grams in the back of adjustability. The logos and stuff aren't my favorite on the back of this driver, but you're not gonna see the back of this driver very often. You're gonna see the top of this driver, and I do like that nice aerodynamic design that's been built in. You don't see wings like this on too many drivers, but Maltby has built them in for increased aerodynamics to get through the air a little bit quicker and hopefully induce more club speeds from the player. You've got a nice big white alignment mark up at the top in the center of this club face. There is an adjustable hosel here, and this driver is going to be sold as a head only for a really nice price on Maltby's website of $179. Now, once you shaft it up, put a grip on this, and build this club completely, you're probably going to be around the $250 to maybe $300 mark, but of course that is going to be a considerable savings over the drivers coming out here in 2024, 2025. We're starting to see $650 drivers, so this is a serious contender in terms of value. Now it's time to take a few swings with this one. First swing there was decent, although I'd say I hit it a little high on the club face. Got some decent carry there as well. Rolled out to 263. Ball speed coming off that club, 142. Club speed, 102. Smash factor, 139. Like I said, it hit that a little high on the club face. And the spin was down there on that shot high on the club face. Now I've noticed when I catch this one in the middle, spin is perfect where I want it, right around 2200 RPM, something like that. Let's see if we make a little bit better contact here on swing 2. Again, maybe a little high. It was pretty center of the club face there, and a very consistent shot. Look at that, right next to the other ball. Again, spin a little bit low there. My tee height might be slightly high here. We'll try to make an adjustment. Now that one I caught in the middle of the club face, but I did push it off to the right a bit. As you can see, it's gonna roll there into the rough. But the numbers look good there. Now you can see the backspin at 25.39. You can see the ball speed 144, club speed 100.8, about 101 there. If we round up, all really solid numbers. Now another thing that I really do think has improved, and you hear it more in a simulator than I even hear out on course, is the sound. Now, I took the KE4 regular driver out that Stu gave me, and I really hated the sound. It was really high pitched. What Stu has done, and what a lot of people in the Maltby community do with their drivers, is stuff a little cotton through that tungsten weight port there in the back, and that deadens the sound. This sounds a lot better. Feel is great, but sound out of the box with these drivers a little high pitched. This definitely helps though. Shot 4. Again, kind of push that one off to the right a little bit. My arms just didn't quite catch up to my body, but again, look at that distance. It's really solid. It's right up there with most of the big drivers on the market. I'm gonna take one more, see if we can straighten it out. Then we're gonna try something else. Much better drive there. That's the real optimal in terms of, I hit that middle of the club face, got my nice draw, and that's a good number there, 271. I don't have any jacked up conditions here on the simulator either, by the way. I've got this at sea level, I've got this with normal rollout, all of that kind of thing. So 249 carry is the top end of what I can do. So this driver, to me, at least in terms of distance and performance and how much you're gonna get out of this driver, I'd say it performs right up there with the rest of the big dogs, but of course the price, considerably less than you're gonna get from the major manufacturers. Probably one of the better, if not the best, direct-to-consumer driver in terms of distance I've seen. Now the next test here is the workability test. And what I'm gonna try to do here is see if I can move this ball right to left, which goes against, as you can see, my natural shot shape of that draw. And in order to do that, I generally just open my stance up a little bit. I'm also gonna take more of a outside to in path. There's different ways to hit a fade, but that's how I do it. You could also adjust your grip a little weaker, that sort of thing, but I keep my grip normal. Let's see if we can move this ball. Oh yeah, I got a ton of movement there. Now, as you can see, club head speed is gonna be down with that fade swing of mine, 97.5, and of course, that leads to less carry, only 208 there. Decent strike in terms of club face. That was fairly center, maybe slightly toe side, but not too bad. I'm gonna adjust my aim a little bit here and see what we do here on swing 2. There we go. I would say that started what, kind of left center and finished all the way over there on the right. That's about as good as a driver gets in terms of workability. Now I'm gonna try to do the opposite here. I'm gonna hit the low hooking one. If you want to keep it under the wind when you're in Scotland and Ireland on those nice firm and fast links courses, let's see if we can pull that shot off. In order to do that, by the way, I'm gonna close my stance a little bit, play the ball back a little bit, and really come inside to out. See if we can turn that back over. Yeah, look at that. Nice low trajectory there. So nice that I could control not only the shot shape, but also the trajectory there in the height of this shot. That bodes really well for workability. Take one more of those type of shots. Oh yeah. That's a really good one. That one's gonna roll for a mile if you're on one of those links courses, even though it only carried 218 because we kept it low. So there is a lot that this driver can do in terms of workability. I've got to rate it right up there with some of the most workable drivers I have tested this year. Performance-wise, this thing is looking very, very good so far. Now on this next test, I want to test forgiveness. That's really important. And what I'm going to try to do is my best to hit this on different parts of the club face. Now I've got the stickers on here so I can verify with my GC quad where on the club face we're hitting this ball. But I'm gonna try to hit a couple off the toe, a couple towards the heel, maybe one low if I can pull that off with this tee height, and see how this thing performs and how it reacts to off-center hits. First we'll try one off the toe. Yep, we did get toe side there. That felt really solid. And what I've noticed with a lot of modern drivers these days is that they favor toe hits because a lot of amateurs like me, mere mortals, often hit it out there towards the toe. I'll tell you what, that was a really good result. And it felt good. I had to double check. I'm not sure if you saw me look back at the monitor, because at first I thought I hit that dead center in terms of the way it felt. But verified by the GC quad there, that was toe side. Really good. Okay, now what I'm gonna try to do here is maybe come in on my stance a little bit, get a little closer to the ball and see if we can hit one off the heel and see what happens. That was definitely heel side. Now we didn't get quite the draw, but for where that was hit, that was pretty ugly. According to the GC quad right there. We got decent carry distance, 222, rolled on to 245 and we're in the fairway. Now we know it does well on the higher hits because my first 2 hits with this driver were a little higher up on the club face. But let's check a low hit on the club face. In order to do that, I'm just gonna try to make it easy for myself and put a small tee down there on the ground. Just take my normal swing and see what happens. Basically trying to simulate almost a top. And we've done that again. Look at that, we're gonna find the fairway. Distance, of course we lost some distance there, 236, but the club speed was down to 95.9 as well. So pretty good distance for, again, where that was hit on the club face, which was low and heel side, right here according to the GC quad. And again, we still found a fairway. We still managed to squeak out reasonable amount of distance. So in terms of forgiveness, we've got another good performance on our hands. All right, I want to end strong here. So I'm going to take one last shot here and just really try to move my hips through everything I've been practicing this year and try to generate max power with this club face and see how far this thing can fly. Go, baby, go. Reach, 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 reach. Okay, we got past 250 and we hit the green, which was at 280, 278. I will take that. That's the way I like to end it. All right, let's go ahead and break down this driver using our 5 category that we judge all drivers by on Let's Play Through. First off is distance. I think you can see there with that last shot, as well as all of the shots I took here today, distance is right up there with some of the best. I think there's a couple drivers that might squeak out a few extra yards, especially on those miss hits. I'm gonna put the PXG, I'm gonna put the new Titleist GT line of drivers in this category. But all in all, I gotta give this a solid 4.5 out of 5 for distance. Really nice job from Maltby. Next category here is forgiveness, a huge category for us mere mortals. And I'm gonna give this driver a very solid 4 out of 5 here. Very forgiving off toe hits, off heel hits, low shots, and high shots, squeaking out a lot of distance, especially off those toe hits, including that last drive I just hit was a little off the toe. If you looked at the smash factor, 1.4, it wasn't dead middle. So there's more this driver has in the tank. But in terms of forgiveness, really strong performance. Now, generally there is a balance with forgiveness to workability. If a club is very forgiving, it's generally not so workable. It's generally a very straight driver. This one though, I managed to squeak out a lot of left to right movement. I was able to control trajectory of my shots. I'm gonna give this one, again, 4.5 out of 5 for workability. It's right up there with some of the best I have seen. And to have a driver that's both 4 out of 5 for forgiveness and workability, really rare on this show, I'll tell you that. Now, when it comes to aesthetics, I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5, and that is with the inclusion of the cotton. If this didn't have the cotton, that sound is again very high pitched out of the box with this driver. I would probably put it more at like a 3 out of 5, but with the cotton, we're gonna give it 4 out of 5. Feel really good. I know on the club face where I'm hitting the ball. In terms of the looks of this driver, I do like the looks looking down at this one. And then in terms of value, well, for the price, you just cannot beat what Maltby is putting out right now. This driver I like a whole lot better than the original KE4 that I tested on the show. This TC Max is definitely a step up in my opinion. I'm gonna give it 5 stars here for value. So a super strong score here. That is very, very solid for a driver and a great release here from Maltby. If you're looking to save a few dollars and you're okay with putting a club in your bag that none of your friends will ever have even heard of, that is where you're gonna really enjoy this one. If I had one big piece of feedback here for Maltby, I'd probably build a little bit more adjustability into this driver, but I'll say this one overall for me is a winner. And the nice thing is you'll be able to customize any shaft you want from the GolfWorks site and really get this exactly how you like it. That's a huge plus with Maltby. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.